Yo, what's going on guys, Havoc here now, back! Today we're going to be going over some things only OGs will probably remember from the good old Brawl Stars days. Okay, let me get this out of the way. I didn't download Brawl Stars right when it launched, but I like to say I downloaded the game every time there was a major update. And there's a few things I still remember that would probably make newer players confused AF. But if you've been playing for about 3-4 years, then you'll probably remember most, if not all of these. So yeah, just fair warning. So let's get right into it. The old boxes. I think it's safe to say I don't remember any of these because I wasn't playing at the time. These 6 boxes were the regular Brawl box, big box, rare box, super rare box, epic box, and the mythic box. If you remember all of these boxes and its iterations and the changes it went through, then you are a serious OG. Personally, I wish they would have kept some of these boxes because I like the style of them, I like the rarity boxes, and you know, I just think they should bring them back. Pam leaks. I'm sure you've heard me say that Pam used to be called Mama J, but things go way back before that. Basically, what happened, people went into the game's code to mess around with the unfinished Pam concept, which was simply a bull that looked funny and walked weird. He was also holding his original shotgun, but it was kinda weird. His shotgun was shooting bullets, like a lot of them. Obviously, shotguns don't work like that, so something was up. He was given the nickname Mini Gunner. This was simply a placeholder for Pam, but since leakers couldn't wait a damn minute to see what was behind that code, they had to look at it. After that, the brawler appeared on sneak peeks as Mama J, and then renamed to Pam, and the rest is history. You used to be able to buy any brawler you wanted. Sure, you can buy brawlers today when they appear in the shop, but did you know you can simply click on a brawler and buy it? Whoa. Brawl Stars has gone through a number of changes, but one of the most drastic ones was the economy and upgrade system. I think I've mentioned these before, but all of these changes in itself can be an entire separate video, so let's not go there. We'll focus on the chip and elixir system for now. You had a currency called chips, kinda like the ones you see at a poker game. With these chips, you could buy any brawler you wanted, and the way you got these chips was through boxes and getting duplicate brawlers you already had. Long story short, even though buying brawlers was cool, many people didn't like the system, and it went through 2 changes after that. And if players had remaining chips, they were given back as gems. The old tutorial. The tutorial isn't something you play all the time, so you might really forget how it used to look or not even realize it's gone through changes because you don't exactly play it again. Well, in 2018, you collected gems and killed robots. In 2019, the environment was slightly changed to include minecarts and updated graphics. And in 2020, they changed the map, but again, you still collected gems and killed robots. Before these 3 though, 2017 was something else. Basically, the launch tutorial showed you how to walk, hide in bushes, and you take out bulls and dynamites. Weird. The old tutorial is such a throwback and so different, I just had to include this one in the video. It's truly an OG thing. Co-op Brawl. Yes, what a weird option. It was basically you and another person would team up to defeat some bots. Kinda like a bot match, but with someone there. Yeah, I know, you can easily do this today by tapping on 2 buttons, but back in the day this feature was pretty unique. But the problem was that no one really played it, and it was eventually removed, and that's probably the reason for its removal. Trophy caps. Yes, there was a time when players couldn't get a brawler over 500 trophies and couldn't go over a total of 8,000. I believe Supercell just didn't think players would reach these numbers so soon, and they were forced to increase or remove these caps. Completely unrelated, but this reminds me of the time when Clash Royale had a gold cap of 500k and now it's at 5 million. So yeah. Having to cycle through brawlers you wanted to use. This key moment in history was truly annoying to deal with. If you wanted to change a brawler today before starting a game, all you have to do is click on it and just pick something. But back then, no, there was no such luxury. You had to tap on the brawler's icon and it would cycle through the brawlers you had, one by one. Thank God this was fixed. I can't imagine dealing with this today. The box offer glitch. This one I do remember. Basically, an offer appeared on the player's shop, reportedly only players under 10k trophies, and they got an insane deal. I don't think the offer actually worked as it was bugged, but boy, it was one heck of a sight. And a funny one too. It looked like you can buy 49 megaboxes for 49 gems. Now that's a sick deal. The price used to be 3,920 gems, but we're giving you a major discount at 1 gem per box. Nita could deploy multiple bears. If you were really excited about the game, you probably watched the YouTuber tournament that went up shortly before the game's launch. And in that live stream, you probably noticed something weird. No, it's not that I'm not there, but it's the fact that Nita could spawn practically infinite bears. Basically, Nita could spawn as many bears as she wanted compared to now, where if you deploy one after the other, the first bear disappears. It sure is a throwback, but I'm glad this was changed because based on this gameplay, it was already being abused before the game even officially launched. So thank you. Watching ads to double your box rewards. This is one of my favorite features that I wish was never removed. I know ads in a game can be annoying, but these ads weren't in your face. You weren't forced to watch them, okay? It was different. You had the option to watch these ads after opening a box to double your rewards. Unfortunately, it didn't last long and it was removed, which is a huge bummer. To this day, I still wish they had something similar still in the game, like watching ads for gems or something, skins. That would be dope. I know it's not for everyone, but there's some players out there who can't buy gems, and this would be a great alternative. Double XP events. You probably remember this from my things that were removed video. I explained that there was a slot for double XP events where you played and got, well, more XP. That's it. Yeah, I know, it's a huge letdown. In a game like Brawl Stars where XP really doesn't play a major role, you can already see why it was removed. The most you got from XP was cool profile pictures, but I mean, yeah. Many players just didn't care for this, and I think that's the reason it was removed, but still, this one is a must on this list. Definitely a throwback. The symbol crash. There was a time in Brawl Stars history that was truly annoying. This symbol. Now, this wasn't Brawl Stars' fault, but rather Apple. Basically, when you put this symbol into the chat, the game would crash and wouldn't let anyone back in. And you might be wondering, well, how did they get back into play? Like, you know, there has to be a way. Well, you needed a player with a device, like an Android or an iOS patched version, which didn't have this glitch. They would have to spam the chat to erase the symbol from the chat so that everyone else could get back on. It's sort of one of those weird memories, but if you know, you know. Calling the club band. Remember when clubs were called bands? Good old days, huh? You may still have clan members who still refer to it as a band simply because it was called that for such a long time. I believe once the global update came out, it was changed over to clubs. I have no idea why it was called bands in the first place, but I think it has something to do with the Western theme. And since Supercell slowly transitioned to a modern theme, the name bands just made no sense in a modern game. OP brawlers. Okay, we're not gonna mention all of them. I mean, pretty much every new brawler is OP, usually, but nothing beats these brawlers. When Mortis could dash half across the map. Well, that's a little bit of exaggeration, but yeah, that was a heck of a time. Piper had the best sniper ever invented, and Bo was epic as hell. No, literally, he was an epic. There's been a lot of broken brawlers throughout the game's history, but nothing is compared to these broken brawlers. One of my favorites has to be Piper's stupid long range. I mean, you couldn't even see where her shots landed on an iPad, which brings me to the next one. Playing on an iPad had a huge disadvantage. Before the landscape update, the way the devices would show you the game was kinda weird. You could see more range on the iPhone, but wider on the iPad. There was a problem though. Long-range brawlers like Piper had too much range. Meaning if you were playing on an iPad, you couldn't even see your shots land. Or if you got shot half across the map, just assume it's a Piper because I didn't see it coming. Obviously, playing on an iPhone was the better choice because you could actually see all of this happening. Of course, this was fixed even before landscape, so yeah. The Western theme. You probably heard other content creators, including myself, mention and reminisce on these old days, where Brawl Stars was a Western themed game. To start, the OG background music, one of my favorites to this day. Then there was the UI, when everything looked old and rustic and wood. Can't forget about the trailers either. The wanted posters, game art. It was like a different era, you know? I think you may have already noticed, but in 2018, the game slowly moved away from the theme and more into a modern 3D style. But one thing you can't ignore is the brawlers and their skins. Some of these brawler skins still have that Western theme, like Colt, Piper, Shelly, Primo, Dynamite, and a lot more. This next one is maybe not as old as the others, but I still thought it was worth a mention. But some of you might not remember that Gene was actually removed from the game for a few days. Basically, when he was launched, there was a game-breaking glitch that would crash the game when using his super. I was playing at the time and I remember it like it was yesterday. I believe this was in February of 2019, so it's almost been 2 years. But yeah, one of the most recent ones on the list. So guys, I think that should be it for this list of only things OGs will remember. Well, hopefully. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I hope I didn't include anything too obvious. You gotta keep in mind Brawl Stars had a very tiny player base in its soft launch stages before global. So if you remember some or all of these, consider yourself a true Brawl Stars OG. As always, thanks for watching and have a gaming out. Peace!